if you don't know the full story. So Liz Winstead interjected, or rather edited, the actual reality of the conversation and cut out the part where he was detailing what is not funny about rape to make it seem like what he did was more insensitive. If she said, I guarantee you, if someone said rape and then, you know, he said, you know, a woman said, actually, rape is never funny. And he said, well, wouldn't it be funny if 5 guys raped her right now? Guess what? That's still funny. You know why? Because he's not being serious. Okay? If she's self-righteously yelling out, actually, rape is never funny, it's right for him again to say, wouldn't it be funny if she got raped by 5 people? Okay, he's joking. He's not being fucking serious. Just like when you see a guy in a movie and he's shooting at aliens, he's not really in an alien war, okay? It's fucking entertainment. And what she did by omitting that very particular part is make it more heinous, and yet I still agree with him. And I disagree with her. And her saying that it's not a joke is ridiculous. And I have a Liz Winstead story from when I was an open micer that I'd like to share with you. Go ahead. Because this is where it gets really interesting. When I was an open micer, and I was not that good a comedian, I was fucking 2 or 3 times on stage, and Liz Winstead already had been on HBO, and she was hosting an open mic night. And I'm not trying to hold her to the fire for this, okay? But this is something that happened. It happened more than 20 years ago. She's on stage. She had her friend Janine DeTullio, who was a very funny comic from Boston. They're all palling around backstage, this whole girls' club. And they were having a great time, and she said, she got on stage, and she said, I'm hosting open mic night, and when I'm here hosting open mic night, I've got rules. Oof. Here's the rules, okay? No jokes about this. No jokes about that. No jokes about tits. No sexism. She says no sexism. She says no gay jokes. She has a list she's reading, and she decides that she's going to interrupt the stand-up comedians while they're on stage and stop them from performing their jokes and interrupt them because she decides that a joke is racist. She decides that a joke is sexist. So there's a door next to the stage. So the comedians are on stage, and she's getting on stage and interrupting individual performance. Stop, stop, stop. That's sexist. So this guy, Brian, I forget his fucking name. He was a very funny guy, but he was particularly shy. And he was an open micer, a career open micer. He was a guy that had been doing... Are you checking your Twitter, bitch? Pay attention.
Yeah, sorry.
Pay attention. He was a guy who would struggle to keep it together on stage every time. And he was a very gifted comic writer, but a very uncomfortable performer. He had a really hard time performing. So he goes on stage, and he has this joke where he says something about, I always make sure I open up the car door for my hooker. Right. And Liz Winstead interrupts, stop, 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 sexism. And he says, and don't think he doesn't appreciate it, which is his punchline. Okay, shit. So she's standing on stage right after he says that, and she stopped him. And he's so awkward, he's got his eyes closed during his fucking thing. I mean, it's so fucking annoying. It's driving me crazy. So I get on stage, okay? And I'm in the middle of something, and she comes out and says, sexism, stop, stop. And I said, Liz, don't you get enough fucking attention? I go, you go on stage every night, you have this HBO special, you're a national headliner, and yet you can't let an open micer have 5 minutes to try to say whatever the fuck they want to say. You have to come on and interrupt. So she says to me, you know, I know the people who own this club. I'll just let you know right now. This is 100% real. And I said, that's it, really. I go, that's what you're telling me. You're a professional fucking comedian. And I have a very good point about you needing attention and interrupting sets. And you tell me that you know the people who booked this club, insinuating that you can stop me from working here. I go, fucking really? I go, I'm done. And so I walked off the stage. I put the microphone down and I walked off the stage. And I'll never forget that. And so listening to that lady, just understand and judge that. Well, I mean, because that's a true thing that happened to a... Oh, of course it does. But that's a true thing that happened to a open mic comic by a professional headliner comedian. Sure. And this is the point where sexism can bounce the other way. Well, and it becomes nonsense. It becomes you enforcing your ideology on other people. And it's not about being fair and right and running a just, happy society where people are allowed creative differences. No, it's about you enforcing your own ego and bullshit on other people.
Yeah, and I mean, it was one of those things where, like,
Let's listen to the rest of what she has to say.
It's a woman's report, and then the club owner issued a statement, and I find this very interesting, especially when talking about it from a comic's lens. And he said that Daniel Tosh got on stage and said, "What would you guys like to talk about?" Now that opens up a conversation with your audience.
We already
said something, so it's not
quite the same thing as being heckled.
Being heckled for a joke you told.
Yes.
Where was the joke?
It wasn't it like the equivalent of if there was one black guy in the room and he had said, you know, wouldn't it be funny if everybody just lynched that guy right now? Because it's not so much a joke as it is an attack on that person because he was obviously angry at that person.
Hold on, stop that.
Sort of
Stop that. You know how stupid that is? Because that's ridiculous, because it's not like she was the only woman in a room full of men. That's so dumb. People are so stupid with their analogies. That would be the same if there was one black guy and everybody's like, let's go get him. How the fuck is that the same? How the fuck is that the same? Why is everybody so goddamn crazy? And why do so many people want to cry victim when they're just stupid? This is not a victim issue. This is a stupid person issue.
I mean, I think it comes down to she disagreed with him. We disagree on how she handled it. I disagree with you. You disagree with me. But it's like...
What do you disagree with me?
Oh, just about the whole rape thing. The thing you...